Stars gave Clancy some crazy buffs, so here's a full guide on how to use him. And this guy is literally an S tier brawler, bro. Now I'll be covering Clancy's mechanics and how he works, the best build that you need to use for him, and the best game modes for this lobster gaming. So stay tuned, okay? And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe because I'm on my way to 200,000 subscribers, okay? Now before I get into the best build for Clancy gaming, you first need to understand how his mechanics work and the buffs he got. Because the last thing that you want to do is use a lobster without understanding how the lobster works, okay? So yeah, Clancy's attack pretty much has 3 stages: bronze, silver, and gold. At the bronze stage, Clancy only fires 1 paintball. At the silver stage, he fires a second paintball after each attack, so it's kind of like a double shot. And at the gold stage, he fires 2 additional paintballs diagonally, and he keeps a double shot in the middle, so he shoots a ton of paintballs, bro. Now, in order to progress through Clancy's stages, you need to collect tokens and fill up this token meter right over here. And you can do that simply by hitting your attacks onto enemies. So you can see over here that if I attack this robot one more time, I am at stage 2 just like that. And there you go, I'm at the gold stage just like that. Clancy does 1,400 damage per paintball hit at stage 1. At stage 2, he does 1,500 damage per paintball hit. And at stage 3, he does 1,600 damage per paintball. And yeah, Clancy also has a slow reload speed along with a crazy amount of range. But yeah, on to Clancy's super. This lobster super is different at every stage. So if you use this super at stage 1, Clancy pretty much fires a bunch of paintballs in front of him, and I think it's like 12 to be exact. If you use this super at stage 2, he does the same thing, but the paintballs can travel further. And if you use this super at stage 3, the paintballs do 16% more damage. How is that even fair, bro? Clancy also has 7,600 health at the max level along with a normal movement speed, but at stage 3, he actually ends up getting a movement speed boost, as you can see. But yeah, let's talk about the buffs that this lobster ended up getting, which made him one of the best brawlers in the game right now, by the way. Now, Clancy's base health got increased by 300 health. His main attack spread got reduced from 250 to 100. But yeah, this pretty much means that his shots are much more narrow at stage 3. His main attack range got increased, and his snappy shooting gadget cooldown got reduced from 15 seconds to 12 seconds. And his tactical retreat gadget cooldown got reduced from 16 seconds to 13 seconds, bro. Now, I'm not gonna lie, these buffs were honestly so random. The lobster was literally an F tier brawler, but because of these buffs, bro is an easy S tier brawler, and it's not even funny, dude. And yeah, if you've made it this far into the video, comment your thoughts on Clancy's buffs. But yeah, now that you know how Clancy works and his mechanics, along with his insane broken buffs, here's a breakdown of both his gadgets, star powers, along with his hypercharge. If you want to know the best possible build for Clancy, it is really important to know how both his gadgets and star powers work, and his hypercharge as well. Otherwise, you'll have no clue what you're doing with this lobster, bro. Clancy's first gadget, snappy shooting, pretty much allows him to gain double tokens for 5 seconds. Now, like I mentioned before, in order to progress to the higher stages for Clancy, you need to attack enemies and collect tokens to fill up this meter. This gadget pretty much allows Clancy to collect double tokens for 5 seconds, meaning he can stage up at a faster pace for 5 seconds. So if you're near an enemy and you think that you can land all of your shots, you can activate this gadget and stage up at a faster rate. This gadget also has a 12-second cooldown thanks to Clancy's buffs, which is way too fast in my opinion. Clancy's second gadget, tactical retreat, is more of a defensive gadget, but you can also use it offensively as well. This gadget pretty much allows Clancy to dash towards the direction you're facing and instantly reload 1 ammo as well. So if you're low in health and ammo, for example, or if you're trying to push into an enemy who's running away, you can use this gadget to catch up to them. Clancy has a pretty slow reload speed, so you can use this gadget, dash away, get an extra ammo, and leverage Clancy's long range and attack the enemy. This gadget also has a 13-second cooldown, which is pretty balanced in my opinion. Clancy's first star power, recon, is pretty straightforward. The lobster basically starts the match with 2 tokens, which is almost enough to get him to the second stage. This star power is sort of like a head start, and it can really help you get to the second stage much faster and get the double shot attack. And for reference, this star power will allow Clancy to get to the second stage in 4 hits. Clancy's second star power is also pretty straightforward and effective. If you end up eliminating an enemy with Clancy, you will instantly reload all of your ammo. And because this is a star power, this has unlimited uses. So if you got, let's say, 2 takedowns in a row with Clancy, you will reload all of your ammo every time you get the takedown. Clancy has a slow reload speed, so you can definitely leverage the star power depending on the game mode you're playing in. Clancy's hypercharge, Recall of Duty, pretty much buffs his paintballs from his super. Once you activate this hypercharge and use Clancy's super, the paintballs can pierce enemies and they can also return to him quickly, which allows him to deal even more damage again. It's kind of similar to Griff's super, where once you use a super, it returns and does more damage. During the hypercharge, Clancy also gets a 20% movement speed boost, a 5% damage boost, and a 5% shield. But yeah, now that you know how Clancy's abilities work, it is now time for me to show you the greatest Clancy build after all of his buffs. This build is crazy and has allowed me to prestige Clancy, and that was before his buffs, by the way. But yeah, starting off with the gadget, I decided to go with the the tactical retreat gadget. Now in my opinion, this gadget is so much better than the other gadget, especially in the long run. The snappy shooting gadget is good at the beginning of games, but the moment you get Clancy to stage 3, this gadget becomes completely useless. The tactical retreat gadget on the other hand can be used for the entire game, and it comes in really clutch defensively. Like if an enemy is whacking you out of existence and you're low in ammo, all you have to do is use this gadget, dash away, and you're chilling. On top of that, you also get 1 ammo back, so you can shoot the enemy while running away and leverage Clancy's long range. You could also use this gadget offensively and dash into enemies who are attacking from the long range. It comes in really clutch, especially if marksman brawlers are spam attacking from the long range and whacking your teammates out of existence. Now moving on to the star power, I decided to go with the recon star power. As you can see, the recon star power gives you a significant head start, and you can literally get Clancy to stage 2 in a matter of 4 shots. Now why this star power over the pumping up star power, you ask? Let me explain. The pumping up star power does sound good, but you have to understand that your teammates can always steal your eliminations, and you're not guaranteed to get the elimination sometimes, so it would sometimes be difficult to leverage the star power in 3v3 game modes. But don't get me wrong, the pumping up star power is also pretty decent as well. But I honestly prefer the recon star power because it sort of gives you a solid head start, and it allows you to stage up Clancy much faster. The earlier you get Clancy to stage 3, the more you can leverage his mechanics. But yeah, moving on to the first gear, you already know that I had to go with a good old shield gear. Clancy has 7,600 health at the max level, which is pretty solid, but with the shield gear, that ends up going up to 8,500 health, which is actually insane. It's always nice to have the extra health because some brawlers these days do some crazy damage. Yes, I'm talking about you, serious gaming. And for the second gear, I decided to go with the damage gear. Whenever I'm below 50% health with Clancy, I can easily leverage this gear by sort of playing far and attacking enemies. The extra 15% damage boost is very helpful, especially in 3v3 game modes. And obviously, we need to use Clancy's good old hypercharge. I mean, what is a Clancy build without the hypercharge, bro? Like I mentioned before, Clancy's hypercharge makes his super sort of a watered down version of Griff's super, but it still does a good amount of damage, bro, trust me. If you're looking to maximize Clancy's super damage, definitely equip his hypercharge because it comes in clutch sometimes, like in scenarios where the other team has 10 gems and you're trying to whack them out of existence and do as much damage as possible and take all the gems back. But yeah, now that you know the best possible build for Clancy gaming, it is now time for me to show you the best game modes for this lobster. If you want to prestige Clancy or leverage him in ranked, it is really important to know the best game modes for him, so listen up, okay? Alright, starting off with the good old Brawl Ball, Clancy is a solid pick in this game mode. I think I've mostly used Clancy in Brawl Ball for trophy pushing because he is such a good brawler in this game mode, bro. Like especially when you get him up to stage 3, you can do some serious damage to enemies because of his insane range. The reduction of his spread in stage 3 also allows his shots to be more accurate, so you can easily eliminate enemies and do more damage. Also in stage 3, Clancy's movement speed does increase, so you can really leverage this if you're, let's say, trying to score a goal and running away from enemies at the same time. Clancy is honestly solid in heist, mainly because of his insane range and damage output. At stage 3, Clancy does 1,600 damage per paintball, and he also shoots 4 paintballs, by the way. Even if you hit, let's say, 2 of the paintballs from the middle, that is literally 3,200 damage, bro. So you can really leverage this in heist along with Clancy's long range and easily do some crazy damage to the heist safe along with the enemies. If marksman brawlers are shooting your heist safe from a far distance, you can use the tactical retreat gadget to dash into them, get an extra ammo slot, and whack them out of existence. Clancy is honestly a great pick in gem grab. This brawler is really good at controlling the center of the map and keeping enemies away. Like it's obviously difficult to use Clancy at stage 1 and progress to stage 3, especially because of his slow movement speed. But thanks to the star power, you'll be able to get to stage 2 in 4 shots at the start of the game. And you can easily unlock Clancy's double shot mechanics and deal more damage. Once you're at stage 2 or stage 3, you can easily control the middle of the point and prevent enemies from taking gems, thanks to Clancy's crazy range buff and damage output. And if you're collecting gems and enemies decide to attack you, you can simply use a tactical retreat gadget defensively and dash away from them. Now, like I mentioned before, Clancy is really good at controlling the center of the map. To add on to this, Clancy is also great at controlling the hot zone point. If you stay on the point with Clancy and enemies are coming in, you can really do some solid damage thanks to his crazy damage output. And his super is extremely wide, by the way, so if there's, let's say, the entire team on the hot zone point, you can activate a super or even hypercharge super combo and just wipe out the entire hot zone point. This brawler is honestly so versatile and has so many different mechanics which makes him broken. The buffs that he got from the recent balance changes just makes him even more broken, and you can easily leverage his mechanics in hot zone, especially when controlling the point. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, click on this video to see how you can prestige brawlers fast in Brawl Stars.